Have you ever felt like your builds look fine? Something's missing, like they all blend together and your world lacks depth. I felt the same way. That's when I started looking at real-world references for my Japanese city. The more I studied them, the more I got pulled into their history, why they were built, and what was happening at the time. Understanding that history completely changed how I built. It gave my world variety and made my city more alive. And today, I want to show you how learning the story behind your builds can make you a better builder too.
This should be a very profitable deal. We're going to make bank.
Don't be too naive though. These people have never dealt business with the outside world. They will be cautious.
They wouldn't be able to resist. They're in a crisis after all. They need us and our iron.
We've reached the city! I repeat, we've reached the city. He's up on call today. Stop looking at each other and lower the plank, would you? Hurry up!
Greetings! Are you, by chance, the one that governs this land?
That would be me.
We heard from your friend Sinnoh that you're looking to trade for some iron.
We do need some iron, but we don't normally do trades here.
We can tell. We can provide trading infrastructure, a port, in exchange for a piece of your land.
We have a planner with us, Joey, who will be very eager to develop some land here.
Interesting proposal. Let's have some tea. Hey, welcome back guys to another video. My name is Dai, and today I'm with two members from Nedenium, Civ and Illy.
Heyo!
Hey!
I haven't been able to play in Nedenium for a while now, so I figured if I can't play Nedenium, I'll bring Nedenium to me. So yeah, Ilya is the one who helped me with the last project right there, and Civ has been the one I consulted to for city planning and layouts. So they're here today to help me plan out the layout of the next part of the video, which is going to be the harbor. Is it the harbor, or what will you guys call it?
Yeah, you can support harbor. I think it both work.
We started building like I think a week ago, and the scope of the project just got bigger and bigger, so we had to basically delay the project 2 weeks time basically. And this whole section right here is going to be filled out with also building on new stuff. So we're going to be cutting the trees at the back first, and then we're going to be building out the rest of the harbor. So let's start doing that first.
It's the most beautiful harbor you will ever see that we will make.
Yeah, this is the
I can't.
Nedenium energy.
The Nedenium energy. No.
So we just completed the platform here, and during all of that, we had lots of conversation between each other, and they've been just roasting me the whole time how my world doesn't have proper infrastructure. Which, to be fair, they're right. What was it that you guys mentioned again?
Where do we even start? You have
No
no
XP
villages.
farm, no villagers. He has a slime farm and nothing to use it for.
Dai has an iron farm and it didn't have a chest to feed it to.
To be fair, I do have an XP farm. It was just broken, and then Civ fixed it for me. The iron thing, at least it was still pulling inside of the hoppers.
It was overflowing every time we looked at it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're right. And we had a tension about it, and then they decided that we should get a beacon, so it would save me a lot more time to gather all the resources, so I don't have to like stress out whenever I mine stuff. Yeah, let's not do it here though. Let's.
Oh, okay.
You think?
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, okay.
As you can see yourself, like I've never gotten the wither in my world.
He just got exposed, like.
But yeah, we're gonna be killing the wither before we continue with this project. So it's just gonna be a little tension.
We had to dig out all of this terrain without a beacon and without enchantment on our pickaxe.
I'm used to it by now, but they're as a tourist, they are not used to it. So yeah, I think it would be great to get a beacon here. Yeah, let's go and do that.
Why do you have soul sand in your tunnel?
Yeah, so back then, like before I started recording for, oh, I see you guys covered it.
Yeah, we died a lot.
Yeah, I was like inspired by Etho, and then I wanted to make like a soul sand kind of like what is it called, like a highway thing with your boots. But you know, it was a long time ago. I didn't clean it up until now.
And do you have soul speed?
No, I don't. All right, it's just straight through here. Yeah, it should be this one. Is it correct? Oh, okay. So it's the one. It's the one before this. It's the one before this.
The gang gets lost. The gang gets lost in the Nether, like it's always funny in Philadelphia.
You have an access to the Nether roof because
Wait,
you didn't.
what? Oh, this is before.
Look at this. Look at this, Dai. There's a
I
chunk
see
of
on the
error
map.
wall, and we have another that it's lower because
Where are
you
you
had
guys?
this world before the heights updates.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane.
Are you guys above me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, wait, why?
Oh.
Come back to the portal, like directly to the portal where it like turned left.
Oh, what the heck is this?
You have like the old generation, and then the new generation after this.
Yo, what?
You have Nether roof access. You can make such a cool build out of it. Look
This
at
is insane. This is like a liminal space.
Damn.
Yeah, you can have like another wall. Like remember in Terraria, like a wall of flesh.
You know
This
that
could be
picture that I
it.
sent you, Dai, for the comp that
Dude,
was, like,
this
the
is so
clouds that was in
surreal.
the
You don't
square?
even need to dig this out. You have like a window to the Nether, and nothing spawns here.
Damn, that's so cool. Actually,
Yeah,
I've
that's
never seen
crazy.
this.
You never looked up?
No.
Yeah,
I
apparently.
it could be that when I trimmed the chunks, and then something might have happened there.
Maybe
Oh,
that
yeah.
too, but
Well, we can grind for some Eyes of Ender.
No. I'm pretty sure I have it. Let me double check again.
He should be underneath the column, right?
yeah, I mean, he basically just gets his head stuck in there.
No, but this is not right then. It should be like this, because this is the central block. I think.
I
I'm
don't
not
think it
certain.
matters.
I think it does.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out then. Dai, are you recording? Dai, do not stand there.
I am recording. Yeah.
This either goes really well or really badly. We're about to find out.
And you question why do I baby-proof the end room?
Yeah, I was standing here and we're about to make an explosion go off. Just behind him. Okay then, what? 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
stuck.
he's stuck in there. We just wait here now. We all sit and watch as he dies.
If you want
Oh,
to.
Yeah,
Bang. Oh, you have smite. You have smite on the sword. You can kill him
Oh,
with
yeah.
smite.
Oh, it was so hard.
Ooh. Wait, can I entrust to you guys the
Oh,
egg?
oh God.
Oh my god, this is so much pressure.
Yeah, holy shit.
Maybe
Okay.
you have an ender eye still, one, right?
No, we used all 12.
Oh dang. We could have mined obsidian and get an ender chest.
You said you went to a city, right? Immediately.
I
So
did, yeah.
Yeah, we just
Oh
should
right,
be
the city has
yeah.
city has a
Yeah.
chest, right?
That's
Okay,
good
let's
then.
go.
It's this room.
Do you have a silk touch pickaxe?
Uh,
Yeah, then good. So we can.
Here,
You can.
it's you can find me and there's room, yeah.
Yep. Okay, it's safe. Oh, wait, do you want to put it in your ender chest so you don't forget?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Yeah, right, and then you log off and it's gone.
Yeah, I log off and it's just never seen again.
So we need to go in
Oh.
a straight line,
I do have a rocket.
just
here.
from this, in any cardinal direction, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Do we all go in separate directions or?
We can go separate directions, but I do have a sword by chance in there.
Oh yeah, there is. There's a smite here.
That is not yours.
Oh, I mean, I don't care about this one. Use it.
Okay, okay.
Wait, are we separating?
Yeah.
Might be
It's
faster.
gonna be faster this way, I think.
Let's see. Holy crap, how far were we? So as you can see from these walls of chests, I tend to hide it in my videos because I basically don't have any organizational skill or any sort system in this world. So I just dump everything here and then eventually it keeps on growing and growing. Yeah, it's just another testament to how bad I am at Minecraft, I guess. But yeah, this is what we got from our end raid, which is insane. Like we have, how many Elishas did we get? It was like almost 10, I think, in all of these diamond gears. And most of them are actually better than what I'm actually using, which is also insane. And we also got our shulker shells. And my shulker farm actually has been broken for like 3 to 4 months now. And yeah, it's been great to get some more shulkers here.
Is it
Congratulations
time? Is
on
it time
finally
to make
not being broke.
make the beacon? Make the beacon.
Oh, right. Yeah, we also got the Nether star. We got that. And then we can make the beacon.
Make the beacon. Make the beacon. Make the beacon.
Then
You're
we-
so rich now. You're the richest survivor Minecraft player ever.
Wait, why don't I get the achievement? Oh, I have to
Wait,
turn
you
it
You
on,
need
right?
to assemble it.
Oh yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, I don't have enough. Yeah.
At least one layer is good for the achievement for getting the beacon, and you have another achievement for getting the full beacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
You're gonna be so efficient now with the beacon. Think about how much time you spent mining andesites, and how you can instant mine it.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
when you collect like 60 more blocks of iron, yeah.
yeah, we don't need it right now.
Yeah.
But enough of that tangent right there. We could start with the original scope of the video. So we built out all of this part right here. The next part for us to do right now is to add the houses and the wall to divide the section between the dock, the harbor, and the city itself. So we can start doing that right now.
Yeah. What would it be?
Looking good, man. Looking good.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job, you know. To be fair though, the base does look kind of untextured.
What type of building style are you guys doing here? This isn't what we do here.
What do you mean? This is what we know.
Oh wait, you guys built differently where you're from?
I think you need a history lesson. Follow me. Hey class, I'm Civ and I'm going to be your lecturer for today. And a little about me, I'm currently a third year architecture student and in general someone who's interested in urban spaces and how they developed. So you could say I'm a little qualified to speak on this. And you know, I'm here to show you, how such knowledge can help you build more intimate spaces, you know, using Dai's beautiful world as an example. And with that being said, let's start with some, you know, overly simplified Japanese history, since, you know, this this is a Japanese-inspired build after all. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the end of Japan's isolationist policy, which, roughly started in 1853 with Perry's expedition, where Matthew C. Perry led a fleet of American ships into Edo Harbor and basically forced Japan to end its general isolationist policy, which basically made it so Japan had very little contact with the outside world and what was going on there. And that really pushed Japan into a very turbulent time, economically, culturally, technologically especially, since they suddenly kind of realized how much they had fallen behind compared to some Western powers, and they really started to ramp up speed and try to catch up with the rest of the world very fast in a very short amount of time, which meant that they would send a lot of people abroad to find out all this technology that they've missed out on and then bring it back to Japan so they can start utilizing it themselves. And this kind of ended up creating a very weird mix of, specifically in architecture, creating a very weird mix of styles, because you would have very traditional styles that had not barely changed for almost hundreds of years being built at the same time as Western buildings that were basically, ripped brick for brick. All this new construction material, construction methodology was directly taken from those Western nations and then applied here, or applied in Japan, making it so you would have traditional buildings and Western buildings right by each other, because they didn't have time to develop this into their own, unique style yet, because it was just such rapid development that had to take place. And kind of how we applied it in this build here, draw a picture of the build, I guess. For this is a comment, is that you could see we used we have quite a few different structures here, and we have very almost traditional wooden structures that are wooden joinery that's kind of more Japanese style, and you can see it as an older structure that was maybe retrofitted into this more modern use. And then we also have almost directly Western style factory building, and also a slightly more stone mix of Western and Japanese influence together for the Harbor Masters building. And with this we are kind of making this narrative of this port being, this port growing over the years, and especially in this time period, you can really see the different ages of buildings as you move across the port. And what I really want you to take away from this is that you don't have to, this doesn't only apply to Japanese builds and this time period in general. It's just that this time period is very interesting because it was such rapid change, and it was very clear that very polarizing sides to this. But this phenomena exists in every space that you live in. Every building that was built had some sort of economic, cultural, or political factor that changed how it looked. But that's the end of the material for this class. There's still a lot to learn about urban spaces in this time period, but, who knows? Maybe I'll see you again.
Alright, here we have it, the final build. This is the final product of the dock. We took us a while to come up with this whole design, but this is what we ended up with. We're really happy. It took a lot of research and planning. And if you could see on the left side as well, you could see the Japanese island that I make. And it really has a really good contrast to what we have here on the, I guess, tap dancing. What's happening here?
It's the tango.
I take the tango. Oh no!
But yeah, like what I was saying, you can see the contrast between nature and industrial and city vibe, especially with this brutalist building style that we have on the right side. It kind of gives like a lot of like different vibes when you're looking at it from a distance. You could see all of these different elements. It's just really cool, especially like once everything is built out more properly. Do you have anything to add, Civ?
I think we did a pretty good job, you know. I think we got the scale down. Ports are usually really big and you don't have that much space. So, you know, it's big, but not that big. And I really think that we, you know, showed off kind of the history of it all. And I kind of, like I mentioned before, we have all these more like Japanese buildings, and then there's more Western style buildings, and even a bit of fusion between that too. It really became cohesive, I think, at the end.
Yeah, and I also like how contrast it is from like the stuff that I have at the back there. There's like a traditional Japanese house and then a traditional Japanese train station, and then nature at the back as well. Juxtaposition of everything is just kind of very interesting, and it brings a whole life to the whole area.
You could even say it's very realistic.
Exactly, which is what we're doing in the first place. I want to say thank you to you guys for helping me build out this whole thing. It wouldn't be possible with you guys, especially with your expertise in laying it out, this whole thing, and then making boats as well. Like, I have never done boats before, so this is pretty cool seeing everything turned out the way it did.
I hope you're not too scared offered by this. This was a lot.
It is definitely one of the biggest projects that I've had in this world. Yeah, let's start from the beginning. We can see there's like a couple of entrances here. If you're facing it from the inside of the town, we have this one right here, which is the main entrance, and then we have the side entrance right there. It was really hard to have all of these elements inside of here and fit all of these buildings within these area, because first of all, we don't want to make this space too big, because that would mean we would have less space for the town, and we still wanted to have a lot of different things and a lot of different buildings and storytelling elements inside of this harbor. Took us a while to figure out like what to put and how to lay out this whole thing and how to make it make sense in the layout of the city.
No, for real, it was so hard, but you know, I think it worked, and I definitely, you know, we separated this with a wall, kind of going back to Dai's last video. These natural barriers that you see, this is a pretty, you know, instead of having to transition pretty rapidly or pretty subtly from industry to the town, we have this wall, which is like, realistic in one sense, because you also, you know, in real life you wanted to protect your factory from people trying to steal stuff from it. And here it acts as like a barrier from like the city itself and the factory without having to have like a lot of transition between the two.
Yeah, so what's interesting is we have a hard barrier right there with the train, and then it divides the city and nature, and then this one right here is a hard barrier between the city and the port, which is really interesting how that kind of goes full circle into the last video.
So yeah, I mean, first of all, kind of the first and most important building of a harbor is the harbor masters. This is where the person who controls the harbor would live, and you know, to kind of give off that vibe, we went for a more fancy building here. It's mostly like, you know, it has mostly consists of diorite and pale oak and this like tough roof, but you know, relatively not that much texture because it's supposed to be sort of a newer building here. And you can kind of see on the windows, for example, this kind of interesting technique we use with the furnaces. They give the windows like an arch feeling due to the arching part of the furnace texture there, thanks to Ilya. And kind of ornamenting the building, we have these happy-gas, which are supposed to be these like stone or ornamentation, and like the roof itself has the dead coral fans and the levers and the candles everywhere, just to make it feel like it's very heavily ornamented. And also because, you know, this kind of historic build here, we gave him a car as well, because this would be something more only a rich person could afford. This is old-timey mobile.
But one thing that I also noticed when doing this project is how contrasted it is the style of building, I guess, infrastructures back then, where there's like a lot of ornaments back then and a lot of more detail they put into these buildings. While nowadays, I feel like if you even look at brutalism, it's more clean, it's more, I guess, calculated, where back then it's more artistic and more, there's expressions to the building, there's more emotions tied to it. Nowadays, it feels more colder, for lack of better words.
Okay, next up, I think we should talk about this brick building here, which from the looks has a lot of European reference that we implemented here, but with some Asian and Japanese accents weaved through. So this build is obviously supposed to be like a bricky kind of texture. We used bricks, granite, a bit of jungle wood and planks, and some mushroom blocks scattered around.
And for all of the builds, we actually use a similar style of roofing. We combine a lot of stone deep slates, and then we use tuff, some moss block, and andesite to kind of gradually gradient it from the mossy color and the brightness at the top of the roof tiling. But yeah, Civ is really good at texturing, and he has a lot more weathering effect on his texturing, which makes a lot more sense too, because it is at the harbor where there's a lot of seawater and breeze and just overall weathering effect on the whole area. So that's really cool. We could talk about the diagonal building here, which is a really important piece of the whole area. Go ahead, Civ.
I mean, what is there to even talk about? No, this is you know, the pier ended up being diagonal, and since a lot of ports have a need for very big spaces for storage, for manufacturing, you know, you would usually build one-story buildings that would be very long, and you can have the entire production chain inside of this. And you know, again, because the port is diagonal, then the building had to be diagonal with it. And you know, I think the end results came out pretty well. We know we kind of to smooth out the diagonals of the walls. We used a lot of walls and glass here to make it less like staircasey, if I were to put it in that sense.
Yeah.
And in general, I guess this kind of limited how much we can texture it, but kind of the shape already is so interesting that, you know, it would maybe become even a bit too messy if it had texture all over it.
But this building is really important because the harbor itself is diagonal, and this building has to be diagonal. And this is the only diagonal building in the whole harbor. But it sells the illusion that, you know, the whole area is more dynamic. It's more realistic just because of this building right here. It kind of sells the effect that everything is more alive, I would say. But this building in of itself is not that impressive in terms of the silhouette of it, because it is just a square building at the end of the day. But because of how it was laid out and because of the supporting elements of the other buildings, it kind of heightens the importance of this building specifically right here, which is really cool. Okay, so this is the other warehouse that we have. This is a more woody look. We texture it with a lot of strip spruce, mud packs, mushrooms, and dirt. We have like a lot of glass panes all over the building, but this building looks much better if you look at it from a distance, since you could definitely see the texturing kind of working together better, especially the glasses here. You don't really see the glasses from this distance, and you can kind of see the wooden texture a bit better and how it has a bit of a weathering effect to it as well. But this building will be super important for me in the future because this is where my storage system is gonna go. As you can see inside, I already started the foundations of it, and we have these barrels right here for storage, and we're gonna be placing lots of chests here that would make sense hopefully in the future. And lastly, at the end here, we have a Japanese style warehouse where we have a few warehouses in a more Western style on the other end. This one right here, we wanted to mix it in a bit, so we added a Japanese style warehouse. This is pretty common back then, where a lot of warehouse in Japan in this period and even in the earlier period would have this kind of style, and they always have like these holes at the top, which is really cool that we were able to add these detail at the top here that kind of airs out the building. But yeah, this adds a bit more complexity and detail to the whole area, combining all of these different elements. In the inside, we still have nothing in here, but maybe using it as a furnace array would be amazing. And just to talk about the texturing on this build, we use a lot of spruce again. I like the color of spruce. Spruce is really good. We use trapdoors, we use shelves, and then we use nether brick, a lot of diorite and mushroom blocks. And as you can see, this is definitely something that I built because the texturing on the roof has a lot more deep slate and deep slate bricks. But yeah, this is the final build in the whole area. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the lamppost and the electric pole. This is what kind of ties the whole area. Same thing with the crane right here. The electric pole kind of goes all the way around, and the idea is that eventually we're going to connect it to the electrical power plant that we have right over there, and this kind of powers the whole city, and it wraps around all of the buildings in the dock as well, which is super cool. And one thing that I do want to say is that the electric pole here is a bit messier because it is in a dock setting and in a working environment. So we do have some lanterns here, while in the city you would have a more fancier lamp, and in these areas it would be a bit less fancier and it looks a bit more practical and, you know, less less fancy than the ones we have inside of the town. Do you want to talk about the crane?
Yeah, the cranes, again, we try to be kind of period specific. These are based off of like old steam powered cranes. You know, if you've ever seen a modern port, they would used to have these humongous cranes everywhere. Or modern ports have humongous cranes that can move up and down the port, but not back then. You would just have kind of normal cranes, and they would just be, unloading ships basically one load at a time. And mostly they're just kind of metal or made fully out of metal, so kind of to keep that vibe, it's all made out of deep slate and sitting on these very sturdy foundations. They're gonna lift a bunch of heavy stuff.
Yeah, and it also ties the whole area because a lot of different sections in the port here, we do have a lot of these cranes, so it kind of also set the vibe of the area. Same with these boxes that we have, that we use beehives and barrels. They just add a little more detail to the whole area, that it is a working environment and a lot of stuff is going on in here. And yeah, even with these anvils that we have, which is, what's the real world term for this?
Mooring posts.
Mooring posts.
This is where you would tie a ship to the port so it wouldn't get washed away by the waves.
Yeah, and we have it in action right here. We have 2 of them being used for the ship right here. So this is basically the use case for all of these anvils at the edge of the port. So the last detail that we have here are the tracks here. They are not as safe as you would think, especially if you come over here to the entrance. When you enter here, you basically are greeted by the tracks right away. So this is a bit of a safety hazard. But I guess back then, safety laws and everything is a bit, lackluster. And we're kind of doing it the same way too here. It was unintentional though, because again, with the limited space that we have, we try to combine all of these different elements into this harbor. So we wanted to have trains, but it was just a bit cramped. But we tried to find a way to make it work. And it is also justified in terms of the lore and the period setting on why there's like a train track right in front of the gate here. But yeah, this is also really cool element to it.
And a little about more of like the lore of the tracks maybe, and then how this would work into Dai's world and the world building of it is that, we do have these train tracks very close together with the train tracks of Dai's train station, but these probably wouldn't be connecting to each other because, kind of in real life and also in general logic, these tracks were mainly used for cargo, while the tracks in the train station are passenger rail, but they wouldn't be going to the same locations, and they would have different track destinations. And this also ties in with the real Japanese concept of mega corporations or keiretsu, which were these corporations that would own every part of manufacturing, from transportation to manufacturing to the raw materials, and they probably wouldn't want to be sharing their train tracks with the public railroads that were being used for personal transport.
Okay, lastly, we're going to be talking about the boats here. This is the one that Ilya made. Take it away, Ilya.
Yeah, so for this kind of space in the port, we needed to make a more compact design of a ship. And I used a real-life historic reference picture of the boat that was sailing at the start of the 1900s. It was initially owned by a Nordic company, but operated in Eastern Asia. Not specifically Japan, but it was close enough. And these types of ships were popular in the region generally. For the block pallets, usually these ships would be very pragmatic and wouldn't use a lot of fancy bright blocks. So I used mainly polished deep slate and basalt to mimic this kind of metal hull look. I added some more darker details in the cabin or the bridge of this ship, and did a lot of detailing with smaller blocks for the mast and communications and cranes, so it would look more complete and sort of messy, because these ships would not be fancy. They're generally just for cargo or personnel transport.
I wanted to add that I really enjoyed the detail we did of the cargo it left behind on the dock, and kind of how we're showing it leaving it after it unloaded it all, with the fish crates of fish and the ocean life.
Yeah, that's
this is very different from what the rest of the cargo is on the docks. But
yeah,
and the glass wakes you made also, look at that.
Yeah, the glass.
Those look very good.
And we also have this one more boat right here where Civ and Ilya came from. Civ specifically made this one. Do you have something to say about this one?
Yeah, so much so. This is the Lee Fields. This is also somewhat period accurate sea cargo ship, which was doing routes from England all over the world. Kind of in stark contrast to the other boat, this one was way fancier, and it kind of it was someone's pride to be on the ship, and you can kind of tell the texturing is less weathered, it's more clean lines. The rigging is very orderly and clean, and in general this was a coal-powered steamship, so this would be pretty capable of going onto the ocean, even if it was a bit smaller, on the smaller sides.
Yeah, especially what really is cool about these two ships is that they kind of show the contrast between the ships that were in the same period, because this one right here we have it a bit more fancy and the other one is more of a fishing boat, and they both exist at the same period, but they have a very distinct style and overall look to it, which is really cool to mix in, because again, like the whole story of the port here is about mixing a lot of different elements and a lot of different cultures into one with a very strong historical setting. So this has been, yeah, it has been a really cool project to work with, especially with them. Like I would have never thought about, you know, combining history and Minecraft and how it would create a very interesting and unique style of building. I think a lot of people would not connect the two dots between, you know, Japanese style buildings and, you know, having a Western twist to it. I think a lot of people, especially in the Minecraft setting, would normally connect Japanese buildings with the normal traditional style of Japanese houses. And this kind of just shows the different variation of it and the hybrids between Western and Japanese buildings. But yeah, that's everything that we did in this episode. It was a massive undertaking, as you can see right here behind us. There's so many things that we've added just on this episode alone. I want to say thank you to Civ and Ilya one more time, because they've done a lot for me and helped me out throughout this whole process, and it's been fun working with them. And last thing, we have a tradition in my world to get a bust made from your head, so we should do that real quick.
Is this gonna hurt?
Slightly. Okay, I'm just gonna make them fight each other to get their heads, so go ahead.
Wait, no hat.
Okay, now ready.
Let's go.
Yeah!
No hits.
Hoorah! No hits.
Here's my head.
Oh, thank you. Take the axe.
As I guess, as Julius sees in this situation, I think you have to say that I need to get executed. Die.
What do I say?
That
Actually,
ship needs to
anything-
be executed.
Yeah.
You need to be
No,
axed.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I was making a stupid joke about the Caesar, like the
Yeah,
thumb
but
thing where
yeah, we
either
can't even do
up
that
or down
though.
thumb. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Execute this man.
Oh, come on.
Perfect. You guys should take your heads back, and then I'll give you the materials
Thank
you
you.
need. Yeah, I think this would be a great spot right here at the lighthouse. So you could put it on the left and right side of it. So go
Well,
ahead.
left or right, Ilya?
Don't right.
I look like I have a little body.
Dude, you guys look identical from here.
What is the date? 29th?
Yeah.
29th. Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Can I get my color back now?
Oh, yeah. Go grab your colors back before you leave.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we did our part here. What did you say, Ilya?
Yeah, I think we did a lovely job here, but it's time to go.
Yeah, no more nagging you anymore, Die.
Okay. All right.
The ship is departing. Retrieve the planks.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll meet again.
I'm sure of it. Did we forget something?
If you forgot, it's no important.
I guess you're right.
There you have it, guys. Another build completed. So, as per usual, we end things with dialogue, where I read the comment of the week. And this week's comment is from the Swanee. Why did you choose to have such a narrow aspect ratio? I'm assuming you're talking about the cinematics that I do. It's because I'm trying to experiment with my videos. I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, what type of style of videos I want to make, what looks good in my opinion, and what the audience also gravitate towards. As you can see, this video is a bit longer, and I'm always worried that my videos are boring, or you know, I talk too much, or I talk about uninteresting things. I'm at the phase of my channel where I get to experiment and try out different things and different formats that works for me, but also something that you guys enjoy. I'm basically in the trial phase, because this video right here took a long time to figure out. A lot of editing, a lot of planning, and I don't think it's sustainable for me to keep making these long videos every week. So I might just make a more manageable build like I did with this mountain right here. That's more manageable than what we have right here. This took a lot of planning, a lot of time, and a lot of editing. Let me know what you guys think though, definitely, because I want to know what you guys enjoy. Do you find these type of videos boring? Do you like the lectures? Do you like the history behind my builds? Did you guys learn something? Because, you know, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to inspire you guys. But yeah, before we end the video, I do want to mention that I do have a membership in my channel. And I don't normally promote it, but for someone who wants to do this for a living, I think necessary for me to talk about it at least. I do have a membership where you can download all of my builds, all my world downloads here on this forever world, but also in Nedinium. I also give out world downloads for individual builds that I do and the schematics of it, so you guys can just copy what I do or learn from it, whatever you guys want to do. But other than watching my videos, obviously that's like the #1 thing that you could do, is just to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys coming to watch my videos every week. But if you guys want to support me further and you guys enjoy what I do, you can definitely join the channel membership and get these benefits. But yeah, that's all from me. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys learned something. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week. Wait, you're still here?
What?